Hello YouTube modeling community, this is Rusty Rotor. You'll notice from my last video I had the same clothes on. No, I don't wear the same clothes every day. Just as I told you, it's a busy week for me, so I'm trying to get these videos made then where I can just upload them that day. This is the open box review that Mark was so gracious enough, he brought down to Acme with him to give to me for our channel. Revell 32 Ford Roadster. We're going to open this up. We'll go through everything inside the box. As you can see, it's sealed. It's not been opened yet. And the parts that I have so far, there'll be a lot more, but I haven't done my little shopping through what we're going to use and everything else. But we got our paint figured out. We got the premises of what we're going to do. Our tires and wheels are picked out. The engine's picked out, and some other little details. So, without further ado, let's open this bad boy up. And like I said, I've lost my glasses somehow. Don't know how that happened. I'm usually really good about my stuff, knowing where it's at and what I did with it. And it really irks me to no avail that I've lost my glasses. It's time for me to go back to the eye doctor anyway, so it's not a super big deal, but, you know, trying to do this stuff, it sure does help. I got some readers somewhere. I could probably dig those out and use them. Alright. I like to just cut the bottom off and leave the cellophane on its top. It helps protect the box, believe it or not. I'm not as crazy as some other guys, but I like to protect the finish on the box. So, we will be building this one. We are going to be starting this one, along with the one from Iceman Collections. And what I like about this is they give you two different types of flames, and then some other stripes, some options. Just so you know, I'm going to be using the flames, the ones that are pictured on the box. And because I think they're going to coincide with the body color I've picked out beautifully. Something really cool, you know, so on and so forth. Let's kind of just take the parts out. We'll go over everything else here. Instructions. So here's the options they give you. Yeah, this is really cool too. Don't get me wrong. Just not for this application, I think. The flames is the, you know, the way to go. Those flames would be cool too, but I'll probably use this for something different. I love the tires and wheels that are on this, but we're not going to be using those. Sorry, guys. Typical parts count, you know, colors. So we never go by that. The engine is a really cool engine that we will use on another build, but we're not using it for this one. So we can skip all that. The exhaust is a, you know, I kind of like to do my own exhaust, but in this case, we're going to probably use part of the kit exhaust and then part my stuff. Just to put my own flair on it. We will drop the nose down a hair, and by how you do that, guys, on kits like this, is so you see the application here. So it's got that pin that'll go in that notch. Well, we primarily know how all that goes anyways, but we'll shave all that off, and that'll drop it a 1/16, maybe an 1/8 of an inch to get that nose down even a hair more. But we are using the kit parts. We're not, you know, changing or modifying or anything like that. I've been looking forward to this kit for a long time. I've wanted to build an old school hot rod. That's primarily all I used to do. The front suspension, definitely we will use every bit of that. I like it. It's got great detail. especially if you paint everything the right way. Nice detail, and it's going to help align everything in the front as we need it. The only difference will be is in the rear suspension. This does have a very nice differential and setup, but we're going to take it a little further. And by that, I mean, even the ladder bars, we will probably, let's see, got a decision here to make, because I'm really liking the way this goes. I'm liking this a whole lot. I was thinking about swapping out the rear differential and putting a 4-link in it and a Ford 9-inch. I mean, this has a Ford 9-inch in it. Looks like it's set up on airbags and springs, coilovers. And I like the ladder bars. So we'll make a decision on that down the road when we get close to that. I may actually go with the stock. Yeah, why not? 4-link would be a nice look, but there's some modifying in there that has to be done. And if we want to keep this a pretty simple build, nice, clean, keeping to the era, a nice, clean little custom, 32. We might just stay with the stock suspension. Of course, things will change underneath the hood, as they always do. The interior, it will be kit with a little twist. We're going to do some customizing to the interior. Probably a real pretty two-tone, neutral colors. I'll show you the primary color. The other color will be a little bit darker. Not much, just a little bit darker. And everything is kind of, yeah, it's kind of molded in. This kit is amazing, guys. No, there's not. We will not be using the front fenders. I think that is absolutely ugly when it comes to these cars. I don't like it. These cars aren't driven in the rain. These cars aren't driven in the snow. They're not, you don't need front fenders on it. I'm not even so sure about the back fenders, as in the body art, there is no back fenders. We're not going to be using the back fenders either. Or the little bit of, no, we're not going to use any of that. But, nope, can't do that. No, sir. I guess in the decals there is seat belts. We will not be using those either. But we will be using the flame decals. They will go on after base coat. And I'll lay a 1 coat of clear, and we'll come back and kind of wet sand it down if there's anything in it, and then we will lay the decals, and then we'll bury them in clear coat. We're not going to put a lot of clear coat on it, but we do want to just shine it. That's enough of stupid instructions. Let's get to the meats and potatoes. We'll open up the body first. We'll take a look at this. The tires they give you, these are very nice, period correct pie crust tires. Looks like they might be cheater slicks. I can't really see. Let me open them up, because I've got another build that we could use these on. They're not really cheater slicks, but they're nice, super nice hot rod tread pattern, but pie crust, very nice. Nice tread pattern. Kind of cheetah slicks, they're smooth. Only tread is the rain tread on each outer side, then grooved in the center, but yet smooth. So same premises, just different. Nice wide tire too. It's not super wide. We want super wide. Front tires, very nice. They're also pie crust. Nice tread pattern. Excellent match set of tires and wheels. That's what I like to see when I open a kit. I don't like to see two different tires and wheels, one for the front and one for the back, as far as different rims. I don't like that. I like matching wheels. But those are, yeah, these will go nowhere. These will get used for another project we got. The body is super clean, very nice detail, everything the way it's supposed to be. You might want to do a little scribing on the door panels right in here, just to depthen that up a little bit, but it's pretty good. You know, pre-drilled for the door handles, which is nice. I'm not big into shaving door handles. I like that door handle. I can count on that. When I go to open a door, that handle's there, the door's going to open. Shaved handles run off servos and relays, and, you know, anything electronic can fail, then you can't get in the car. And in a car that would be this nice, you don't want to keep hopping over the top and hopping into the car just to avoid it. And it is period correct, having the handles. Therefore, you know, I like that. A very clean body. Oh, we got something else in here, guys. Ooh, be very careful inside the packaging that the body is in. Your glass is in there, so don't just think it's an extra piece of plastic and throw it away. It's also got your headlight lenses. This will be fun, trying to put that in. So we're going to be very careful. We'll use our Z-Fat pen when we go to set this in place, because it is small and fiddly, and I don't want to get glue all over it or anything like that. So when we go to set this, we'll use that Z-Fat pen. It'll hold it in place. I can get it, pop, release, and be done with it and let it sit off and dry. And then we'll come in and maybe add a couple drops more here and there to get a secure fitment with that. So make sure you open that with the body in it. You don't just rip it apart, because you'll lose your headlight lenses and your windshield. It is in the bag, and it was made in China. Alright, we'll set that to the side. Just a note. These tires and wheels, or these wheels, I love them. They're absolutely spectacular. They will go in these tires and they will go on the other build, but just not this one. This requires something a little bit more, old school. Look, the box art is flipping amazing. If you just built it box stock and changed nothing, you'd have an absolutely beautiful model. You guys, there's been other guys that's reviewed these and have already built them, modified them, changed them, blah, blah, blah. You have two styles of windshield frames, which means we're going to have another style of windshield somewhere wrapped in another bag. So we got to be careful with that. The only thing I'm not big on is chrome. Like that front leaf and front suspension. We're have to make another decision there. Now the control rods and all that, I don't mind that being chrome. That's an accent piece. That makes something stand out. But as far as this, no. I mean, we'll see. We may go all out and just do the chrome pieces. It's been a long time since I've just used kit chrome and cleaned it up a little bit and put it in place. I hate having to touch it up because it never looks right. So this may get painted the same color as the chassis, and then we'll use the chrome pieces as accent pieces and go from there. The header system, we will not be using these headers or the engine, but they'll get used. We're going to use it in the other kit, because we need that style of header, the bypass to go up underneath the car and, you know, open headers if you want and run straight headers. I'm not going to take it out. There's a lot of little fiddly parts on there, and I don't want to lose anything, because I'm not real sure on what is what and where is where, and, you know, so on and so forth. But we will open up this and start reviewing this styrene. Just remember, guys, always check your bags. Make sure there's nothing that's come off the tree or sprue, and you don't want to lose nothing. I really like the fact that, you know, the fenders are separate. We won't be using the fenders. We will be putting the inner fender wells in on the back. It'll get painted body color. And then the grill. Look at the fan. They put the detail in there on that. Is that not amazing? And I've got one of my fans sitting here I was going to use. So I don't have to use this. That's I don't want to take all that, scrape all that off there and then just put mine on there for the sake of it. When that is really nice detail, we'll leave it. The firewall, nice ribbing. We will be using aluminum rods, the hood supports, and radiator support, cowl, whatever you want to call it. And we'll polish those up because we won't have a hood on ours. It'll be open engine compartment because we're using a big ass engine. And there's the hood. It looks wonderful. I like the fact that they put the contact points on the end so it'd be easy to sand off any, remains of them instead of putting them further up on or underneath. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 injector marks underneath, but those it's pretty wide open, so you could be able to sand those off with no problem and have a super slick finish on it. The cowl, I wish I quit doing this and figure out a different way on these grills. I mean, it's very transparent, so it'd be easy to get rid of. To open that up, and we may look into that and see once we fit stuff together and kind of play with it and see what we got of opening that up. If it's something where we can't, or maybe I can just leave a little edge of it left for gluing purposes, we might do that too. Oh, holy crap. Oh, holy crap. I like this. You get a little guitar. I love getting this kind of detail in a kit because it's something you can just sit down in there. It adds some realism, some detail. The interior, my God. I could not have asked for a better way, and they give you 2 options. You get a very clean, let's open this, a very clean option, and this was the option I was expecting to see in the kit. Again, check your bags. Nice, just clean, smooth, pleat, rolled and pleated. Nice way. You could two-tone that, the upper half, and then the rolled and pleated be a different color. Same way on the door panels. Very clean. Very easy. There's a shifter. That's a very fiddly part, so be careful with it. Nice knob on there. Leaves you open to use some other things. And we do. I have something. I'm not going to show you. I'll leave that as a surprise, but we're going to use this as a shifter knob. So you have that choice of interior. Then you have a diamond tuft interior and more rat rod kind of combo in there. Look at that. And the circles at the top. I guess you could drill those out if you wanted to add that realism. I have not decided which one I'm going to go with, but now my interest is piqued. And as far as steering columns, look at that steering column. That's like one of those aftermarkets you'd buy that's all aluminum, with some real light sanding, some little tedious taping. You spray your aluminum on there, you're going to get the same look. And everybody's going to think it is an aluminum piece, and it's not. They did a really nice job on the steering column. That guitar is really cool. The dash, it is beautiful. Very prominent, easy to pick out this detail. Nice smooth areas to lay your decals for the gauges. Easy to fill with your whatever type of glue or clear or resin you put in there to give that lens appearance. Very easily to do on this. So kudos to Revell for a nice retooling. And there's another, and I think somebody's already gave this away. Like I said, I lost my glasses, so this is my glasses. Oh no. Wow. Well, I found our shifter, guys. This is the one we're going to go with. This has so much detail in it. You're not going to be able to see it on my camera, but it's a custom shifter. right there. See it with that ball on top of it? That is cool. I will drill all the holes out in the shifter handle, or the shaft. Ha, he said shaft. Right there where my finger's pointing to. We'll drill out all those holes to give it a little bit more realism. We'll pick out and hand paint the detail on there. Since I'm going to use this, I was going to use a skull head. I do have a box full of little tiny skull heads, all different sizes, that would have worked really nice. If I don't like the way this comes out, I may clip that off and put a skull head on top of that. But I like that shifter base and the boot around that. It's really top notch. They did a fantastic job so far with the tooling on this kit, the design process put into it to give us a little bit more without having to add a lot of aftermarket. We'll open up the last box of white styrene, which is good. There's not a lot of white styrene. This is, always check your bag. This is your engine. Very nice detail on that, actually, on that transmission. Look at the transmission. Very nice. I think they're, with the world of 3D printing and resin casting and everybody being happy with the really fine, intricate detail that brings to it, I think you're going to see model companies starting to step up their game a little bit more, to where you buy their model kit and not buy aftermarket. But that is a very highly detailed engine from other kits that I've seen. And there's been kits in the past, that's had this nice quality detail. But once that was panel line washed after you paint it, that would be a really cool. They wouldn't know if you used aftermarket parts. Cylinder heads are very nice. Starters highly detailed. Easy to pick out some stuff on that. Nice oil filter. The crappy kit distributor. Hate those. I wish, I don't think it'd be that hard to do. This is just me spouting. When they do the belts and pulleys, you know how easy it would be just to make the pulleys separate with a groove in them and give you a little piece of, rubber, whatever, like I use to represent belts. So a little, 2-inch piece of rubber down in there. Make your pulleys separate. Make the pins longer where, the alternator always sits off here to the side. Make it where that'll pin back to the head, and, with a little bracket, molded into it. So you get that really nice detail. But yeah, it's just part of the kit. I don't think it'd be hard to separate those pulleys and the belts and kits. I mean, it may be a little more challenging to assemble, but that's part of the game. Is a model. It challenges you. It take you from this level to this level to this level, to where you're using all this aftermarket stuff. You're at this level. Why not? Guys got to start somewhere. Why not give them something within the kit to start with? But for a quick process, just pick it out with a brush and go on. Nothing. The engine, I'm very happy with that engine, but we'll be using it for something else too. Chassis, no warping, straight as an arrow. I hate these connector points. What? I mean, can you get any bigger? I mean, I'll saw those off, so it's not a big deal. And I love that they're doing this now instead of having it molded in. It's because this is easy to sand off and get rid of. Nice period correct detail underneath. Before I show you, I want to check something, because this is also going to determine if we use this. Yes, we will be using this. Oh, most definitely, yes. Okay. I've showed you this before, and just so you know, you guys see, and you'll get to see. I will have to use a different transmission, or figure out something for transmission. And we may, as detailed as this kit transmission is, we may just saw the transmission off and use it. That will help in placement of where everything should be to line up, drive shaft length, so on and so forth. This is the engine we'll be using. The big 429 Boss, supercharged, MSD ignition, distributor, fuel injector throttle body. There's a lot of detail in this engine. The belt, I've showed you guys, is very flexible. So it's, you know, once we get it painted, we'll paint it a rubber black or something like that to give the appearance of a real belt. We'll get our water lines ran from the heads, from the water pump. Our fuel lines ran, you know, up to a point. Our master cylinder, they're located underneath the floorboard, and there's always an access panel up here in the floor pan to get access to, you know, adding brake fluid or whatever. We may try to represent that a little bit, but this engine sits right in the mounts, right where it needs to be. It tilts forward a little bit, but with the engine and the transmission, we'll see how and where it sets. I'll kind of glue the two halves together, and we'll put it in here and see where everything lines up. I'll make some marks. I'll cut the transmission loose. We'll tack it in place on the engine, and then reset it according to where the transmission actually goes, and we'll see how far forward or back this engine has to go. I don't care about height-wise. The only thing and my headers, they clear and they come up underneath, which is good to run the exhaust. So that's always my biggest struggle, is being able to have clearance to run that stuff. My next issue is, since we're all open, we don't have to worry about inner fender wells getting in the way, is front to back for where the firewall is going to actually sit, and, you know, the placement of the engine. But the transmission is like itself is going to be a locator pin. It's going to tell me exactly where that engine is going to sit, and I'll be able to see if I'm going to be too far forward or if it's going to sit just right where it needs to be, like this. The only struggle would be in real life is that oil filter sits right over the motor mount. But, you know, at the end of the day, this is a model. Exhaust, what I was talking about. Here's the rest of the electric fan. Nice detail. So when that goes over, then you see the fan through it. The coilovers for the rear, nice. That is a nice setup. Can be picked out and painted nice. Very smooth diff cover. I'm going to see if one of my diff covers will fit on this to give a finned rear diff cover. If so, we'll use that instead of the smooth. If not, we'll go smooth. And the rear diff is very nice detail. Airbags are nice. Rotors, you know, we're not going to be using those. Well, we might, since we're using rear diff, we might as well put those on there. It's not going to hamper our tires and wheels. Drive shaft. There's another drive shaft. I don't know what the hell that's for. We might have to look at the directions for that and see. But there's the front cross member. I think that's part of the interior. I'm not for sure. But we'll find out what all this. But the exhaust is perfect. It's exactly the look I wanted. We may take these out and put a set of my cherry bombs in between there, just to add a touch of my own flair to it. Chrome pieces, you know, like I said, we're not going to open them. There's a lot of little fiddly parts, and we're not even going to be using them. But, you know, nice. They're nice. I mean, guys, it's, like I said, you just want to build this box. The air cleaners are really nice. And it gives you velocity stacks. So, you know, you go two ways on that blower. You can have the velocity stacks on top of that, and then the air filters on the very top. Or run the velocity stacks open. You'd have to re-chrome them and, you know, clean them up a little bit to have them open. Headlight bezels. Yeah, everything, I mean, that all looks great. Let's take a look at these decals, then we'll go to the stuff we're actually using, and we'll wrap this video up. Very nice. Here's something that I really, really like to see is all this hand script. These little things. This is going to coincide perfectly for what we're doing. These are the flames we're going to use. And we'll have plenty for other projects. License plates. Deuce 32. I always like to use one tag from the kit on the front and my personal tag in the back. So that's how we'll route this out. Great looking gauge decals. I can't see this stuff, guys. I'm blind, so there's no need for me to try to look yet. There's other stuff on here for your detailing purposes. The hand scripts are beautiful. You get 3 different choices. we will be using that one right there, along with these stripes. I don't know where this goes. I'll look on the instructions and see the placement of this, and we may just, follow along, follow suit. We won't use the seat belts. Put real seat belts down in it. That adds a little bit more detail. If you don't have any of that stuff, those are perfect to use, guys. They do look really good. So don't be shy from using them and be, I'd rather, well, if you don't have it, you don't have it, and that's a great alternative. And I'm glad they're starting to do this and put that in there, because it is an alternative for people that don't have, they struggle to get enough money just to buy the kit. You can do a lot of detailing just with a paintbrush and the decals they give you, and have a beautiful model. So, yeah, kudos to them for that. All right. So, these are mine. I put these. They're little catch cans. We'll be adding a catch can, and we'll plumb it accordingly. I've never done one, so I'm going to have to do some reference work. I've not seen in there, I'm sure there is the detail of the master cylinder. We're a little new school, so our master cylinder is not underneath the cart anymore. So we're going to bring it up to the firewall, and we'll be using one of these Bear Racing master cylinders. I've showed them to you before, but we'll get one out. This thing's going to have all new modern brakes on it. So it's going to have a modern booster and master cylinder. You can see the detail on these. These are 3D printed. This is Ryan Jones. What is going on here? Oh, I'm getting too close. Ryan Jones's design he designed for me. This was for the turquoise GTO. Is what this was designed for. And then I've been using them ever since on a custom job. It's nice detail. And then, he's got the matching booster with the vacuum line fitting on there. See the fitting there at the top? Placement lines up perfect. It looks really nice once it's painted. And that's what we'll be using on the wherever we can fit it the best. This all will be open, so I don't have to worry about things being super tight, but I don't want things hanging out past the body either. And we're not going to use our electric fan because the kit decal is flipping amazing. There'll be some other stuff, like this scoop. We will not be using this scoop on top. I don't, in this application, I don't care for it. I'm going to use a different type scoop for on top of the blower. Our tires. Now, these were made by Steven Zimmerman. You can see how wide those bad boys are. There's the wheel. We will not repaint the center of the wheel, and you'll see why here in a minute. But you can see they're nice and open. You can see my finger back there, so we'll be able to see rotor detail. The front tires, same way. Just more modern tread pattern, but real tiny and narrow. Just using these two alone, you're going to get that. You can see that offset. You'll get that rake look. But by us dropping that nose a 1/16 to an 1/8 inch more, we're really going to get that hot rod rake that I'm looking for on this build. And until I can get that just right, I just won't move forward with it. But body, tire, and wheel. See what I'm talking about? See where I'm going with this? That's tucking it up underneath there. We get it back where it needs to be. You can see how wide those are. I can't keep nothing straight. You can see how wide those are. That's going to add a really super nice look to it. There's the other one. These things are wide. I mean, these were probably molded after a dirt track car, open wheel, sprint car, tire, but perfect. This is the icing on the cake, along with that engine. 2 key components, along with an open interior that we can really go kind of crazy with. Slightly detailed underneath, just to kind of round everything off, and a beautiful paint job. Speaking of which, we will be using splash paints SP086 if you want the color. It is Nassau blue. It is a beautiful blue. That will be the color of the body. So now you see why I was using the blue flames and the blue and beige script, because it's going to accent the body perfect. Instead of the typical, you know, black, red, yellow, you know, red, all that stuff. That's all standard. You know, you see that all the time. I want something a little different. We will be using Zero Paints Beige 1, Automotive Interior Colors, number 8, part number ZP-4108. And there'll be an accent color to go along with this. It'll be a shade darker. That'll be determined no matter which interior set I use for this. It'll be those colors. I just have to decide if I want the clean, crisp, rolled and pleated, or if I want the diamond tuft, you know, custom look. We'll decide on that when it gets time. And they're all separate pieces, so it's going to make it super easy to add detail. I'll probably add some interior handles and a couple, you know, some other little things as we go. Definitely detail up that shifter, and you know, we're gonna have fun with this one, guys. That we can add so much detail just by detail painting, and a few extra aftermarket parts, just tires and wheels, the engine kit, you know, a catch can, the master cylinder. We'll add a Mallory, or not Mallory, but a MSD box out there on that firewall somewhere, and we'll get a little bit of wiring, and maybe some steel braided lines. I don't know. Definitely some rubber hoses, all that accent detail just to complete everything. And I think this is going to be a very beautiful build. Hopefully it turns out super nice. I will take this to shows. And I thank Mark at Hobby Nut Models for sending this to us. I hope you guys like this. You got any questions about it? Drop them down in the comments. I'll be glad to answer anything I can, anything I've seen so far. If you have any questions about it, or send me an email. Mark's link is down there. Hit that link. Go get you a copy of this kit. If you don't have it already, I would recommend 2 or 3 of them. And you don't hear me say that a lot. This is worthy of the 2 to 3 kit purchase, because you can build this thing minimum 2 different ways. 2 different types of interiors. You know, tires and wheels are always nothing. You can always add those. But options you could do just with kit bashing, or, you know, from your stash or your junkyard, whatever you want to call it, of parts, even with the kit engine. You know, you can set up totally different ways. So 2 or 3 of these things, and have your little collection of 32s. 2 different windshield setups. It's fantastic. Now, that brings me to this real quick. We got to go back through here because we're missing something, and I don't know where it is. There's the grill and the moon tank. We will be using the moon tank. The grill is, you know, standard, typical. I wish they would open that up. That would look so much better. So much better. They gave us 2 different windshield frames. The only glass we have is for the custom frame, which is that right there. You guys seen that? So I guess, since there is no other glass, that's a big no-no there, Revell. I mean, I know they always put extra parts in it for a different thing, but that is not a downfall. You can always cut a little piece of, you know, clear from, you know, like I showed you, like they used on the bubble or the vacuum windows. You can use a little piece of that kind of plastic and cut your little window out if you want to use this frame. It's not a hard detail to do. I like the mounting. You know, if you like that squared off, that raw look. We will be using the custom one. I like that better. I like sexy curves. So that's it, guys. Any questions, drop them down there. get over to C Mark at Hobby Nut Models. The link is always down below. Get you a copy of this, 2 or 3 if you can, because I'm telling you, I'm getting another one. I'm super impressed. The quality that they put into this kit, yes, they could have done a little bit more, but for what you get is well worth the money. It's nice. Kudos to Revell. 9 out of 10 stars. The 10th would be having that extra piece of glass in there in case you wanted to use that windshield frame. But yeah, you're not going to go wrong. And you can even get detail. Open up the rumble. I don't think maybe they did have rumble seats. I'm not real familiar with the era. I've always admired them. I love them. But you could open up this trunk easy and add detail in there. Sky's the limit, guys. It's a piece of plastic. That's what you do with these. And a little bit of this, a little bit of this, and in my case, a whole lot of that. Spray some of this on it. You have a beautiful piece for your collection. So yeah, go get you one. Get you 3 if you can. Buy 4. You definitely can build 2 different ways. You definitely can build 100 different ways if you start adding aftermarket parts or parts you got from other kits and come up with your own creation. It's a great foundation for whatever you want to do. It could easily be tubbed. Now you'll have to look into different frames and start cleaning out, cutting out all this, but it's something that can be done. You don't really need a tub when the wheels stick out. So, again, with anything, if you get this kit, let me know it. Send me pictures of your process and your build and your final picks. I would love to see them. I'll always, if I get pics like that, after I get enough, I'll post, and at the end, a little slideshow of people's builds. I don't have enough yet. I've got about 3 or 4. I like to have about 6 or 8 before I'll make a little slideshow with them. But I definitely will do that. And, you guys get those pictures to me via my email. It's always down below also. But go over, check out Mark at Hobby Nut Models. Get you one of these fine kits. Get you some NCW paints for what you need. He's got a nice collection of paints that would be great on this. Go check them out and get you one. And then keep me posted on what you're doing with it. I appreciate you guys. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Busy week, so I'm trying to knock these videos out. I hope you enjoy this video. This would be primarily Wednesday's video because of the reviews, and Friday's video is yet to come. I will probably shoot Friday's video on Friday. But till then, guys, be safe. Get you a kit. Get started on it. Take care. This is Rusty Rotor. I'm out.